But expectations wise, I mean, what are you thinking? I mean, just looking at our group, Iran, Wales, and England, it looks hard, and I think people underestimate the strength of our group. So, what do you think expectations wise, being completely honest with the team we have and the teams we're facing?
To be honest, I would say getting out of the group is definitely, I think it would be a success at this World Cup. And then honestly, once you get out of the group, it's a toss up. Who knows who will be matched up against, and who finished where in the other groups to make that happen. And then it's if we get favorable draws there, then who knows how far we could go. But I think getting out of the group is going to be huge. And I think if we don't, especially if we somehow finish last in our group, I think the confidence is going to be super low. I think a lot of the hate is going to go towards Berhalter.
I would struggle seeing him continue to be the head coach if it goes poorly.
And I think there's going to be a lot of overreaction if we don't make it out of the group. But to be honest, if we don't make it out of the group, personally, I don't think that's going to be too bad of a thing, because Iran is a very good team. They always perform decently well at World Cups. Wales is kind of on the up right now based on their form. And then England, of course, just quality team. They're known to choke, but I don't think they're going to choke out of the group stage. Yeah. So it's going to be tough. But right now, if you told me we made it out of the group and then, who knows what happens after, I'd be happy with that for sure.
Yeah. Well, 100%. And I think people sort of underestimate, first off, the quality of Iran, but second off, the quality of Wales. Like you were saying, Iran's good. They have... they're not. I don't think they're as deep as the U.S., and I'm going to be honest about that. They have the likes of Alireza Jahanbakhsh, who I know very well. Some people in the Prem know very well. He played for Brighton and had some really nice goals. It wasn't the best stint for him, but he has in the past proven to be a very good player, especially with Iran, scoring a lot of goals for the national team. But talking about Wales, people don't understand that they have a lot of Premier League players in their team, a lot. Because they're so close, but also because they have talent, right? You're looking at Gareth Bale, who's not a Premier League player anymore, but he played in the Prem, he played in La Liga. He's their biggest guy. Everyone knows about Gareth Bale. But then you're looking at Dan James, Aaron Ramsey, Brendan Johnson, Wayne Hennessy, Nico Williams, Ethan Ampadu. These are people, Connor Roberts, who have all played in the Premier League or currently play in the Premier League. Ben Davies. You can just list them off. And they were all on, relatively mid-table, lower-table teams, some of them on top-table teams, and get a lot of time. So I think people are underestimating. They're all oh, it's Wales, it's a small country, all they have is Gareth Bale. But that's because you're coming from an American perspective, and when you come at it from a neutral perspective, it's the same thing with us. We just have Pulisic. That's it, right? And that's not true. But then people forget about McKennie. They forget about Adams. They forget about Aronson. They forget about all these players that are making a pretty big impact in Europe right now. But it's a toss-up because I would argue that Wales have more depth in the top leagues than we do. And that doesn't mean we can't beat them. I think we're a great side, and I think that we have something different than a lot of teams because we have a chip on our shoulder. But I think that people are underestimating the power of that Wales team, especially because we're facing them first. It's our first game in the World Cup.
Yeah.
England's second, which is going to be nice. Iran's third, which is going to be a huge one because it's going to probably, at the end of the day, it's probably going to decide whether we make it through or not.
For sure.
But opening with Wales is tough. I worry about that. Just I don't know if as a nation we are really fully understanding how tough of a game that's going to be. It's such an even matchup, and if anything, from an unbiased perspective, they have the leg up. I don't know if you agree on that.
I would agree. I think Wales is definitely the team to knock us out over Iran, but I think another thing to consider is with Iran, there's and a lot of the teams in and around the Middle East and that region, it's there's not a lot of coverage and exposure over here in the US and even in Europe in those leagues and those those players. So it's hard. It's easy to underestimate that team, and then they'll come out and beat like a team like England in the World Cup because, you know, they are a good team, but no one really knows it because there's not that much exposure in the media to know about the players that they have. So I don't know. I think 100%. That's just what it makes it difficult to like kind of see where the US will finish because we don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, if anyone watches Porto, they'll know who Mehdi Taremi is. I mean, he's a fantastic player. He's a serial goal scorer. If you've seen the countless bicycle kicks that this guy has scored for Porto, the legendary status that he has with the fans over there, I mean, it's actually insane. He's not to be slept on at all. And in my opinion, I take Mehdi Taremi in a heartbeat as our number 9 for the USMNT. Oh, yeah. He's just a phenomenal player. So again, like Wales, I think has the leg up. I don't know if Iran has the leg up on us, but I think that they're too slept on as well. I mean, they have players that can ball that are either unnoticed or that are noticed in Europe, and we're just not taking them into account as a nation when we talk about it. Like, I swear, people are saying on social media, we're going to be able to beat Iran pretty significantly. Like, they're a good side, and everyone says they're a good side, but they're not that good. But they never, like, mention the players that they have, because I'm guaranteeing you, people aren't doing their research and actually figuring out who they have, where they play, and everything like that, because it's not your normal standard Premier League players that you see week in, week out. So people aren't fully understanding the quality that they're going to bring. So again, like, it's just unfortunate because, I mean, it is the World Cup. You're not going to get an easy path to the knockout stage. I mean, it's not happening. It's the hardest stage on the planet. You need to ball, and you have 3 chances to do it in the group stage. There's no other competition like that in the world, in my opinion, where it is that cutthroat, that competitive, and that important, and you only have 3 opportunities, and then it's over for 4 years. I mean, it's truly like it's unlike anything else. And if we go into this thinking, we can probably beat out Iran and Wales because we're better, I think we're going to get smoked. If we go into it thinking it's going to be a dogfight and we're going to have to battle for it, I think we can make it through, but it's going to have to be one game at a time.